Good evening and welcome back to another episode of the Eagles Nest, powered by the Sports Lounge Media guys, sponsored by the Mogul brand as well as the Diamond Collection. I want to say a big shout out to those guys. Thank you so much for allowing this video to be possible. Guys, we're almost to the draft. We're almost there. Less than a week away. We got a lot of news coming in regarding to the Eagles as well as some of the other NFL teams. And man, when I tell you, I know that myself and Chosen here are big Eagles guys. And this is like Christmas time for us, right? This is the best time of the year. This is when we get to really see Howie Roseman in his element doing what he does. And guys, there's no one better at doing it than Howie Roseman. Chosen, without further ado, you guys have seen him before. You know he's an Eagles guy. Chosen, how are we feeling, man? Week out.
Man, I'm feeling really, really great. And for those who don't know what the Mogul brand or the Diamond Collection, visit us at www.poweredbytmb.com. Go check us out there. But I'm feeling amazing. We're on a Good Friday. Two more days until Easter to Resurrection Sunday. And I'm
Amen.
super stoked, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm excited. It's almost draft time, and like you said, Easter Sunday. I hope each and every one of you spend some time with loved ones, man, and celebrate the one true King, right? And let's get on to what we're going to talk about tonight, guys. Tonight we're going to talk a little bit about the draft. I know the last few episodes we've really been talking draft, but that's really what's happening right now. It's the big thing in Green Bay here in the next 6 or 7 days, guys. I can't wait. I know Chosen's excited. The Philadelphia Eagles. There have been a lot of different rumors swirling all offseason. You know, we heard the whole, here comes Myles Garrett to Philly. TJ Watt's coming to Philly. Crosby's coming to Philly. And, you know, I mean, I even heard one about Devontae Smith being traded to the Miami for Jalen Ramsey. And guys, it's all poppycock. It's not real. It doesn't exist. That's not going to happen. But I can tell you what is going to happen. Howie Roseman is going to use those 4 fifth-round picks, those 2 thirds and a fourth, to move up and down this draft and get the guys that he deems important or could help change the Philadelphia Eagles and make us a lot better. And 2 names come out to mind when I really think about it. And the first one is Donovan Ezaraku out of Boston College. He's been on a top 30 visit, big name edge out of Boston College. Ted Hendrickson Award winner, as well as all ACC first team, all ACC first team, all pro, or not all pro, excuse me, all American in the NCAA. The kid was an absolute unit for the Boston College Eagles, and hopefully he'll be in the Eagles green in the NFL, man. He bends the edge really well. He's a guy that I could envision Howie Roseman moving up into the first to grab. And there's another name popular amongst most Eagles fans, and that name is Malachi Starks. I think that's the most popular name in terms of, rookie talent that the entire Eagles, fan base wants to see come to Philly, and for good reason. He's the best corner safety in this draft. He is a guy that is going to be a day one impact guy. I do believe that Donovan Ezaraku will also fall into that category, but man, with the departure of CJ Gardner-Johnson, Darius Slay, and Isaiah Rodgers, this secondary is our biggest question mark. I think you can agree.
100%. I mean, we got to fix that secondary. We lost a lot of key components when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. Now, when we talk offensive side of the ball, everybody on the offensive line, we're perfectly fine with. Even with Beckin being gone, we have Tyler Steen who can come in and play. We also got a couple of other pickups to evolve in that position as well. But we're good on the offensive line. We also picked up A.J. Dillon as a backup running back. We still got Will Shipley. I think we'll be perfectly fine at the running back core. And then we got our wide receivers. You know, we got the 1A, the 1B. We got Brown and Smith. And so I'm not. And then we got Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP. Also, the big name that we're not talking about, and I think is going to be a good plug, better than Kenny Pickett was last year, is DTR. I think DTR. In the past, we were trying to draft him. We were unable to be successful in the draft, but look, it came full circle. He's an Eagle now. And so Howie Roseman got what he wanted anyways, a year or 2 later. And he just, Howie does it, This is the most interesting year, though, Sunshine, that I could be a Philadelphia Eagle because I want to see what we do on defense. Now we're talking defense. I want to see we lost Josh Sweat, Milton Williams. We lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Slay's gone. I want to see what we do with the secondary. I think we're going to fix the offensive line still has individuals that can step up and play still, but it's secondary that I'm kind of worried about. And to be completely honest and transparent and not be a homer, I just don't know I have that much trust. I haven't seen too much of the guys that are going to be in those positions play at a higher level than the guys that we got rid of. But I do know one thing. You said Malachi Starks, and we're going to jump into it. And I think Malachi Starks is a proven guy that can come in and play right away, just like our two dudes, right? We got Cooper and Mitchell. So he's one of those guys that could come in and actually play. And then we have rotation players after that. So I think we'll be perfectly fine if we could get that draft. And then there's a couple of other key pieces that we could use. But I think we'll be fine, man. If we get Malachi Starks, I can start feeling more comfortable with the talks of being back to back. Just right now, I'm just not comfortable, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I understand. I think that, the secondary definitely took a hit in terms of talent. You lose C.J. Gardner-Johnson. He was the lifeblood of the team, the heart of the team. And it's not that his athleticism can't be replaced, because it can. There were times where he struggled in coverage, but what he brings to the team is that dog mentality. And I think sometimes that could be even more important than ball skills or, a coverage ability. That dog mentality is not in everybody. And I think that Malachi Starks is definitely a guy from what I've watched on tape that I think has that in him, along with the coverage skills and the ability to play man coverage and the ability to come down into the box and fix the run. I agree. I love Sidney Brown. I love Keely Ringo. I love Ricks, all those guys. But he said he hit the nail on the coffin, guys. I know a lot of Eagles fans are like, well, you got to give him a chance. Understandably so. But we have reason to be nervous. Keely Ringo's been with the team for a while, and he's just now going to start getting first reps at the boundary corner. Q's going to bump over to Darius Slay's spot at CB1 on the boundary and is going to be asked to do a lot. You got Cooper DeJean, who's going to sit in the slot. Vic has already expressed the desire to keep him in the slot because of his tackling ability and coverage ability. That leaves cornerback 2 at the boundary up for grabs. That's between Adoree Jackson, Eli Ricks, and Keely Ringo. All three of them are going to be in a dogfight for that, not to mention whoever we bring in the draft, because right now the Eagles have brought what is it? Was it 3 or 4 corners on top 30 visits? You got Maxwell Harrison, Trey Amos from Ole Miss. I believe we just brought another one today. We're going to have a competition there at the CB2. Reed Blankenship, I trust him to run the defense and be able to do what he's supposed to do. I think he has a firm grasp on what Vic wants. It's when you go up to that strong safety position where Sidney is, where you're kind of like, I don't know. Can he play there? He has the physicality, but does he have the know-how? Vic Fangio runs one of the most complex defenses in football. I would feel comfortable if we brought Justin Simmons in as a veteran presence after the draft in order to teach cats and then go get Malachi Starks. That's when I could kind of look at things and say, okay, you know what? Now we can talk about going back-to-back in the division, back-to-back in the playoffs, because I think sometimes Eagles fans lose sight on how difficult it is to repeat in the NFC East alone. Not to mention to go back to the Super Bowl and win one. When you have teams like the Rams that are primed, you got teams like the Packers on their way up, you got teams like the Lions that, are still a big question mark. I think I agree with you in that, you go get Malachi Starks or Donovan Ezeraku in that first round. And then we start to feel a little bit safer, right? I think defensive line-wise, we're fine. As well as you said, offensive line, as long as Jeff Stoutland is in Philadelphia, we will always have a top 5 offensive line. Clip it. In terms of defensive line, you lose Milton Williams. He's replaced by Romero Omaggio, I think is how you pronounce his name. Sorry if I botched it.
And he played just as well, though.
Correct.
They didn't put a lot of love on him, and he played just as well as Milton Williams. So that's
agree.
why I said I feel fine with it. It's just the losing Brandon Graham and losing Josh Sweat is where we could still plug and play with Nolan Smith and Jalex Hunt, but Eagles are known to be a rotation defense,
right. Not to mention we
have Jordan Davis as well.
Right.
Plug, but he's not a pass. He's not a pass rusher. He's a run stopper. So
right.
It's like they're trying to find that, and but we'll find it in this draft. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention that, over in free agency, we brought in two guys that have only been in the league for 4 years, and Joshua Uche and Aziz Ajulari. I like Ajulari a lot. I think he's got very high upside, and I think he can thrive in a Vic Fangio system. Joshua Uche recorded a 10.5 sack season in New England, 2 years ago? I know he had a down year with Kansas City Chiefs, but he's got high upside. I mean, that's two technical young guys that are there for molding. So I think at the edge position, I feel more comfortable than I do safety. Safety, I'm very up in the air. Yeah, right now, safety, I think I'm very up in the air with safety. Now, it's not that I don't trust Vic Fangio. So don't come at me, Eagles fans, and say, well, you got to trust Vic. I do. I trust Vic Fangio. But you got to bring in talent to replace talent. And let's be honest, Sidney Brown is not C.J. Gardner-Johnson. He's just not. Yeah. So you got to go get a guy to replace him.
Yeah, and Vic had it. He had it with the Denver. He had it with the Miami Dolphins. It's you got to get players that can adapt to what you're being coached, right? The playbook, the practice, the practice that you have to put in, the film. You got to go watch film, right? You got to get guys that are hungry enough to go do that. And if you can find those type of dudes, then that will go and run through a wall like they do for Dan Campbell, then you have a hell of a defense. It's not Vic Fangio that we're worried about. It's placing the talent and the mindset that can come in here and play at that level. So,
yeah, I mean, you look at 7-time Pro Bowl, All-Pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey couldn't thrive in Vic Fangio's system due to that very fact that he just couldn't thrive in the system and get with the system. It's not that Vic Fangio was a bad coach, and it wasn't that Jalen Ramsey's a bad corner. It's just they didn't mesh. So what we have to do is we have to find guys that are Vic guys, right? And I think Malachi Starks fits the bill perfectly. He can sit in a shell coverage. You can bring him down in man. He's great in the box. I think Malachi Starks is the guy we need to pursue in this first round.
That right there would make me, there's not a lot of guys that we draft that make me that excited. Since 2020, there's been guys that I've been excited about us drafting, but this is the time where you feel like, the Eagles are at that point where we're in a win now.
Our window's open. Yeah.
And so we're more of like, okay, what are we going to do? One thing I want to mention though, Sunshine, if we could get real with each other is, and if that's okay, is a lot of times I think as Eagle fans, I was looking at a crazy stat and a stat line. Do you know that the Eagles have the most, or has the least losing percentage, the second least winning percentage in the NFC East since the 2000s?
Really?
You know who has the most is the Lions.
In the entire NFC.
In the whole NFC. And that goes to show that we're doing a really good job of plug and playing players. Now, when we win, what I'm bringing up is the fact that even in those mid-winning teams and all of that is when you win, right, it's hard to see past just winning. It's hard, when we take the Lions, for instance, and they won 15-2 games, but they don't see who they played against. They don't see what they lost in coordinators. They don't see that we've seen what it was the year before last, what it was to have two new coordinators, right? And how hard it is.
Right.
They don't see the retooling of the defense. And I'm not just picking on the Lions. I mean, looking at the Chiefs and their record and the way that they played, but not seeing how the Denver Broncos and the Chargers are getting better. There's teams out there that are getting progressively better, but
Houston
Texans, right? It's hard for them to take off the lens because they won so much. And you used a word before in our lives, and I can't remember. Is it when you called it when I forget what you called it. You had a term for it. When you're winning privilege or privilege, something in that realm, right?
The privilege of victory.
Yeah. So, and when you have that,
or the spoil, they've been spoiled by victories. Victory has blinded them, essentially. That's kind of what happened with Chiefs fans, right? Chiefs fans thought they were walking into a Super Bowl in which they were just going to, it's okay. We're 15-2. You know, we're 11-1 in one-score games. We're not worried about it. Patrick Mahomes is going to do his thing. Then they got slapped in the mouth, and they're like, oh, like, this can really happen to us. It's because, you know, they're so used to winning that when they don't, I think the Eagles are going to experience a little bit of that this season. I completely agree with you. And when you say, let's get real, we both understand the game from a different perspective. I've played it. You know, you've played it. We've coached it. We've seen it up close. It's to the point where, you know, we say, okay, like, great, we won a Super Bowl. Now, you know, I was over the Super Bowl, but after the day after the parade. Day after the parade, I'm already thinking about, like, people are like, oh, like, congratulations. It's over with. It's already happened. Like, and you look at AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, all of them up at 5 a.m. the last 2 months, already back to work. So that's stuff that you like to see within the organization, because guys, I was telling somebody this the other day, because they were like, well, we just need to trade our whole team and go get a guy. You don't want to be a team that goes to the Super Bowl and then becomes irrelevant. You want sustained success. Right. And to do that, you got to build a roster. You have to have guys that are bought into the culture of that roster, and you got to find a way to replicate it year in and year out without being too caught up on, well, we won a Super Bowl. Like, I got to see a Super Bowl. I'm cool. Great. How do we get the next one? What did Tom Brady always say? The next best Super Bowl is the next one, right? Like, there was no, great, we won this one, let's hang our hat on it. Like, it's just, I mean, even AJ Brown came onto his live and said, like, winning wasn't what he thought it was. Not that he didn't enjoy it, but that he likes the chase. He likes the grind. He likes the work to getting there. We need guys like that to have sustained success. Because people love to throw around the word dynasty, right? We've only won one, guys. Okay? That's not a dynasty. To be a dynasty, you got to do what the Chiefs are doing. And that's to be in it in 5 years, win 3 of them. That's dynasty talk to me. And I don't get me wrong, love the Philadelphia Eagles. We're a good team, but pump the brakes on the dynasty talk. Okay?
And let's not forget the schedule. The other thing that we haven't even touched on is, like, we play 10 playoff teams this year.
Correct.
Like, we need to rebuild. We not rebuild, but we need to retool as well as anybody else that wants to compete. On the NFC side, we only probably have to compete with probably 2, but there's 6 other guys on the other side that we could say that could be potentially there that
100%.
we have to be ready for. And so the schedule plays a big part in it too. And the fact that you said it perfectly in the beginning, the NFC East is a battle of our own, because we have teams that are retooling, getting better.
Listen, to the viewers, there has not been a repeat NFC champion in the last 10 years. There has not been a repeat since before 2010. Like, whoa.
Yeah. And with that being said, now I understand, you know, what happens in the draft. We're going to find out what the Giants do. You know, if the Giants can go get Travis Hunter, that would change the game for them. They really still had a solid defense. We'll see what happens with the Commanders, right? They still didn't do nothing with their defense, in my perspective.
No, I'm not sold on them.
Yeah, but then we have Dallas, who is hanging around and is still the team to look out for, because we cannot sit here and say that Dallas cannot do really well in the regular season. We've seen it before.
Right,
they're 9-4 against it. Yeah,
go ahead.
9-4 against the Eagles. So
he's 33-3 versus the entire NFC East. Like,
yeah, and it's we cannot say that they're not going to be. I have them at, finishing second. Granted that Dak finishes off the season, but if he gets injured again, I think that's Joe Milton's team at that particular point. But that's another conversation. But the Eagles. But that doesn't mean that it's given to the Eagles, right? It's not means that because we still got to play other teams outside of our division. But what I'm saying is our division is just as tough as our rest of our schedule. And again, 10 teams we have to play that we need to be ready for. So these draft picks are important.
Yeah, they're crucial.
And going to get Simmons is important. So those are things to look out for.
100%. I think that, There's no reason to think Dallas can't still be competitive in the NFC East because they've been 12-4 the last 3 years prior to this 7-10 year where we traded back and forth with them for the NFC East championship. It's been us and them off and on for the last 4 years. So guys, for you, all of you that are like, oh, it's crazy to have Dallas up there. It's not. Think about it. Dallas is competitive in the NFC East. They're competitive in the regular season. This isn't us coming on here telling you that Dak's going to win a Super Bowl or Dak's going to take them deep in the playoffs. We know that's not going to happen. But to think he can't go 12-4 that's a little short-sighted as an Eagle fan. So I mean, I guess that brings us up to this next point. The overview of this draft, right? Let's say this. What teams have to hit and what teams have a little bit more leniency? Because in my opinion, teams that have to hit, the Giants, the Bengals, the Commanders, these are all teams that have to hit in the draft. They have to. They don't have a choice.
I would say the teams that are prepping and getting ready are more important right now of hitting harder if they want to make a run. Teams like Denver, and Denver has already retooled and they made some moves, but they need to continue making moves so they can become even better. That's a scary division in the West.
Yeah, the AFC West is terrifying.
Yeah, and same thing with the Chargers. Everybody thought, Harbaugh was crazy getting rid of a lot of those players that he did, but yet now he's retooling that Charger team. That's another one that needs to hit. You got, who else do you got over there? You got Houston Texans in win now ready mode. They need to hit. You got you got to think like what is it gonna take for two teams? Number one, what is it going to take for these two teams to get over the hump? Number one, the Bengals to not start off 1-4 and fix their defense. And number two, what is the Bills going to do? Oh, he took off. What are the Bills going to do to retool their offense? I mean, who's their wide receiver right now? Who are those guys that make a difference and not putting it all on Josh? That's going to matter. So I think putting that into perspective is very, very important. Other teams that need a hit in the NFC is going to be your Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers retooling that defense. You're going to have that North is, the NFC North is going to be strong. You got Bears making moves. You got, I haven't really seen what the Vikings are doing. We also got to think about the Niners. The Niners still have, they still got core players to still play, but they got rid of a lot of people. I think the 49ers is another team that needs to hit. And so with that, there's several other teams that are win now ready to go. And I think it's those teams that I mentioned before with the Chargers, with the Bengals, the Houston Texans. And then let's not forget, what is the Chiefs going to do? We can't sit here and say last year was a spectacular year for the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs are winning games by one score. So we need to figure out what's happening with that as well. We have that as well. But with that, I mean, I would just jump before he jumps back on. I would just jump into real quick some of the scenarios that I think most people have on their draft is, Cam Ward, going to the Titans. You have, let me pull up the draft real quick for you guys as we're talking about it here. Let's see here. Two seconds. 1 second. And we have, you have the draft order being Titans, who I think will end up picking up, Cam Ward. Most people think that that's going to be a lock. You got Cleveland Browns that could go Abdul Carter. Think of Abdul Carter going to alongside Myles Garrett. That's pretty scary, right? And then the New York Giants, are they going to go Shador or are they going to go Travis Hunter? I think at this particular moment they went with Russ and they got Jameis They got Winston. I think they need to go Travis. They need that two-way player in him. And then you got number 4. You got McMillan possibly going to the Patriots. Number 5, you got Mason Graham particularly going there. This is where it gets tricky at number 6. I'm only going up to this point. At 6 is you got Genty. Most people got Ashton Genty there. I can see McMillan going there as well. I mean, it's not really a lock, but I got that going on as well. But really, I would like to say that this draft is going to be the most electrifying. Hear me out, guys. The most electrifying draft that we've probably seen in a long time. There's going to be a lot of trades going on. And a lot of things happening. The Eagles are at 32, but I don't think that we're going to stay at 32. So we want to stay on topic. I don't think that the Eagles stay at 32. I think we trade. And I think we trade. Let's see here. I think we trade in the first round to number 24 via trade with the Vikings and go get our safety with Starks. I think that that's what happens. And the funny part is the Eagles have never drafted a safety in the first round. That's going to be interesting. That could change just everything and how that works. You know, that Starks 40 time was a 4.5. Vertical leap was 33 inches. NFL Columbine rank, he was 10th and 13th among all safeties, respectfully. But his poor testing numbers are not concerning because he does play fast. Okay, so what is he? 6'1", 205. Yeah. That's for me. I think that's the biggest thing for me. Walking into then we trade and then we get into round 4. I think we take defensive tackle from Ole Miss, JJ. We take him. He's 6'3", 309 pounds. A very, very powerful guy. He can line up in a 3 technique, over center and on the edge, so he can play both positions. I think we get both of that from him. What's crazy about him is that JJ has also played fullback, so he could be played both ways in NFL. We could see him if the tush push is not banned. We could probably see him lined up there. And then round 4 via trade with the Rams, we get our edge rusher in Ashton from Louisville. He wins off the edge with the speed, power, and also his pass rush. He would give the Eagles edge room. He consists of small pass rushers, a big body type. He's a relentless motor. I think that he would be a great addition. And then this is where we get our tight end from Notre Dame, Evans. I would love to have Tyler Warren, but at this particular moment, I think that it's important that we address the safety position. And this is the thing too. I know that Dallas Goedert is on the trading block, and we'll see what we do with him in the draft. But I think right here at round 4, 134 is when we get our tight end with Mitchell Evans from Notre Dame, and that would the Eagles can manage to replace Goddard's production with him. Evans could lead the way. 2-year starter for the Irish. He had 77 receptions for 903 yards and 5 touchdowns overall. He's not a dynamic athlete, but he has very strong hands and he has a good size. He's 6'5", 253 pounds. I think Philadelphia could really use him. I think that in round 5, number 161, we go running back here with Jaden Blue from Texas. Blue has an elite speed. He runs a 4.3.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hold on.
I'm just going down the list here. I'll run through it again real quick on what I think that is going to happen, and then you could just jump in. I was already telling them. I think that in round 1, we do a trade with the Vikings. We go 24 and get our safety, Malachi Starks. I talked about, where he can fall. Starks ran a 4.5. Vertical leap was 33 inches, ranked 10th and 13th among all safeties, respectfully. Despite his poor testing skills, and then in round 4, I think we get our defensive tackle in JJ from Ole Miss. The crazy part about JJ is that he's 6'3", 309 pounds. He can line up in the three technique over centers and on the edge. But here's the most interesting part, Sunshine, is the fact that Ole Miss used him as a fullback. Can you imagine him coming on the other side in a tush push and coming in for tush push reasons?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember the Ole Miss ran the same play against Florida in the swamp with the D lineman at fullback. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah. So I could see us going with JJ there. Round 4, 127, we trade with the Rams. I think we get our edge rusher in Ashton from Louisville. He has speed, power. He has a big body, and he has a relentless motor. And then round 4, we go 134 tight end with Mitchell Evans from Notre Dame. I think we get our tight end here. I know we would love to get Tyler Warren. That would be the ideal situation for us. I don't know what we're going to do with Dallas Goedert, but I think that we get Evans. He had 77 receptions for 903 yards and 5 touchdowns overall. He's not really a dynamic athlete, but he does have strong hands, good size. He's 6'5", 253 pounds. And that gets me back to the part where I tell you, I think that this is where Johnny Wilson comes into play. I would love to see Johnny Wilson transition to tight end. That would be a really good spot for him as well if we don't go there. Round 5 at 161, I think we go running back here, man. I think we get Jaden Blue from Texas. Elite speed, runs 4.3 in the 40. Pass skills, 42 catches for 368 yards, 6 touchdowns in 2024. He could be a dynamic role player, coming behind some of those other guys. Maybe even coming in for some punt returns and some kick returns as well with his elite speed at 4.3 and 40. Round 5, 164, offensive tackle, Jalen Travis from Iowa State. That dude has a mammoth size. The dude is 6'8", 339 pounds. He'd be a good prospect for the Eagles offensive line coach, Jeff Stotland. I mean, he could really develop into a right tackle and really take over Lane Johnson's spot. We're always talking about who's going to take over in the next 2 years. I think this is a great talent in Jalen Travis from Iowa State to take over that spot. And then in round 5, linebacker Madon Jr. from Georgia. Here we go. Philly Bulldogs again, right?
I'm about to say that's a familiar name.
Yeah. He runs coverage like a safety. He's really good with the set. Eagles can rotate him in pass downs if they needed to. I think he gives you kind of that Zach Bond kind of effect. And very quick linebacker for his size. Round 5, we go cornerback here. Justin Wally from Minnesota. 27 passes defended in 49 games. Due to him being undersized, the dude is only 5'10", 190 pounds, but he is the best project in the slot to trade reps with Cooper DeJean. And that's pretty much what I got in our draft.
For the Eagles?
Yeah,
I think the Eagles definitely move up in the first round. I think they're going to be very aggressive to try to get Malachi Starks or Donovan Ezraku. I think that with all of our other picks, I could see us being very, very giving with them to try to get to places the guys we want. Like I'm looking at the top 30 list right now, and we have a lot of edge talent. We got Trey Amos from Ole Miss. If he's not gone, I would love to see him as an Eagle. Offensive line wise, you named Jalen Travis from Iowa State, a dog, absolute dog. He could be molded by Jeff Stoutland. Another name, NC State's Anthony Belton would also be a nice one. I think that he's got the size and length to play the right guard. Tyler Barron from Miami is an edge player that you can get on in the 6th or 7th edge of the draft, essentially. But really, I mean, I think we do all of our damage in those first 3 rounds. We look back historically, And that's where Howie really does his work, is those first 3 rounds, rounds 1, 2, and 3. We get absolute killers in those rounds. In those rounds, you look at, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean. Then you fast forward a year, Quinion Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and the other cat, I can't think of his name right now, but there was a third that we got in the 3rd round there as well. That's where we do our damage, rounds 1 through 3. That's where we're going to be aggressive. That's where we're going to go try to get our guys that fit our system. Outside of that, everything else is really just for depth, whether that be at corner, linebacker. Like you said, Cooper DeJean needs somebody to compete with, I think. So I would like for us to bring in a true nickel corner, a guy that's, can play in the flat as well as, in coverage. So I wouldn't mind to see that. And then, like I said, if Malachi Starks is selected with that first aggressive pick, man, the rest of the draft will feel like Christmas Day, right? Like it'll just be like, man, what could go wrong now, right? Like it's going to be, the rest of it would just be kind of a coast for me. Wouldn't mind Donovan Ezeraku. Wouldn't mind, like I said, offensive line depth, because we have to start thinking of life after Lane Johnson, and both of those guys we named, the Iowa State kid and the NC State kid. I think both of those guys are suitable answers that are going to be available. We have 4. What do we have? 4 picks in the 5th round.
Yep.
I liked the Jaden Blue pick as well. I think that he has got breakaway speed, and he's a little underrated in my opinion, the Texas running back. I think he would thrive in what we like to do. The problem is he's going to have to share reps with Will Shipley and A.J. Dillon. And I think A.J. Dillon is going to make Green Bay mad that they let him go. Like, think all game long you're dealing with Saquon Barkley, this genetic Super Saiyan, and then he gets tired, and you're like, thank God he's out. Enter 6 foot, 250 pound AJ Quadzilla. All right. I just be like, all right. He got it. They got it. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
At the end of the game, it's going to be nasty. In the fourth quarter, when you're beat down and have to deal with AJ Dillon, that's a problem. That's going to be a problem.
I think that, we will see Saquon's carry attempts go down this season. I think we're going to be a little more safe with that. I think he was over 320 this last season, and this one he's definitely going to see a downtick in rushing attempts, which is good for the longevity of his career. He's going to be in Philly for at least the next 4 or 5 years. So I think I want him to be productive the entire time he's here. So I would not mind at all to see AJ Dillon crack that 150 carries total. You know what I mean? That 130, 150 carries, and see him split, because I think that AJ Dillon can there were times when he was playing in Green Bay against us, and I was like, man, if he gets loose, he's going to go for 15, 20. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And depending on what happens with the tush push here and coming up in May, we may have to rethink our goal line situations, and that's fine. If we have to, we will, because we're not soft. And if that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do. But I think that, I'm excited for the draft. The draft is, like I said at the beginning, the best time of year for Eagles fans, because we just love how he does. He's a tactician. And if you're in here right now, or whether you're in here on the replay, guys, the Sports Lounge Media is going to be having a live, real-time draft watch party. I need to see all of you there, guys. It's going to be absolutely incredible. You're going to see a lot of familiar faces. You'll see Chosen. You'll see the Marshall Experience. You'll see the Down South Philly group, Pickens Pats Talks, all these different guys that we're going to be in here. We're just going to be having a good time, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have a draft board. You'll see the players, the countdown. It'll be dramatic. It's going to be incredible. I'm very excited to get to hang out with the guys and, just really enjoy football, right? This is one of those events where we can all just kick back and say, man, this is the start of the season in all actuality. This is it right here. This is what kicks off from now to OTAs. Like, this is where we okay, we know what the Eagles are going to look like for the most part. We'll probably add 1 or 2 free agents, Justin Simmons, one of those guys later on. But man, we're going to get to really see a picture of what we're going to get as Eagles fans next season, whether that's a good or bad picture.
Yeah, 100%, and I can't agree more. I mean, this is where it all begins, right? A lot of times on these TikTok lives and a lot of different debates that have been going on YouTube and even Facebook and X, is the Eagles got rid of a lot of guys. How do we replace them? This is where we replace them at, and and the fact that we're replacing them with young talent for longevity is crazy. So I think the next 5 years for the Eagles, it's contender. We're going to be there whether you like it or not. We don't care
at all.
So, but we're gonna be there. So,
what did they say about the Chiefs? They're gonna be there. You're gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Deal with it. Deal with it.
Philly.
Philly's going to be in the mix. Definitely. We are in our Super Bowl window, prime time. I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. What else you got for us?
Yeah. So I thought we could trail off and do a little ending thing. Well, make it a little interesting. I see these people doing all these, start one, cut one, trade one. And I thought we would improvise and do, my 3 versus your 3. And what I'm going to do is my 3 is technically our 3, right? So it's going to be Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and A.J. Brown. I'm going to give you another trio, and I want you to pick. And you got to be objective. You got to be objective. As objective as you possibly can. So, my squad or your squad? We got Jalen Hurts, we got Saquon Barkley, and we got A.J. Brown. On the opposing side, I'm not going to go too crazy to begin with. Okay? You got Jaden Daniels, you got Scary Terry, and you got Deebo Samuels. Who you rocking with?
So how does this work? I get a pick.
You can pick which squad. I want you to pick which squad you're rocking with and why.
Oh, I'm rocking with the Eagles.
Okay, why?
You got Jalen Hurts, you got Saquon Barkley, you got AJ Brown. AJ Brown is top 3 best wide receiver in the league. Scary Terry is not there. You got Jaden Daniels, who did come off a great year, but we're judging a man based on a rookie year. We've seen Jaden play at a high level for many years now. He's been to the playoffs. He's proven himself. So I'm rocking with experience here. And then Saquon Barkley, I mean, come on now.
He speaks for himself. And I'll make it I'm going to make it fair moving forward, chat. I will remove Saquon Barkley and enter Devontae Smith. That way, because Saquon Barkley is kind of a deal breaker for a lot of teams. So we will enter Devontae Smith. Next up, you know what? Let's get out of our division. Let's get out of the NFC East. Let's go explore somewhere else. All right. Let's go with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Versus Jalen, AJ, and Devontae Smith. I feel like that's a competitive. Yeah, that's a tough one. I feel like that's a tougher one than the Commanders. Go quarterback first.
I'm going Joe Burrow.
Oh, it's Joe Burrow! Oh, chat.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I have to go Joe. This is just based on him as his talent, right? It's not based on what. Okay, yeah, I'm going Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, but then I got Devontae Smith. So
over T.
I'm gonna have to, over T.
So you're rocking with the Bengals squad in that one.
That's
good Lord. Good Lord. All right.
I'm wearing my NFL hat, man. I'm wearing my NFL hat.
He said, "I'm trying to be unbiased." I promise I'm trying to be unbiased. Yeah. Let's go with let's go Lamar, Zay Flowers, and Isaiah Likely. We'll throw a tight end in there. My squad or your squad?
Eagles.
Really? Go position by position.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts for this reason. Even though Lamar Jackson has the speed, has the arm. He's won MVPs, but he's never got to a Super Bowl and got MVP in a Super Bowl. He hasn't got over the hump, so I'm gonna go Jalen Hurts. He's a winner. You said Devontae Smith. Oh no, you said Dallas Goedert, right? Are we going Dallas Goedert?
Yeah, we can go Dallas Goedert versus Isaiah Likely.
Dallas Goedert all day long. He's just more of a physical player. He can route run. He's just an all-around better tight end than Likely is. And then, of course, AJ Brown. I mean, AJ Brown's way better than Zay Flowers.
Yeah, he's significantly. I think Devontae Smith is significantly better than AJ Flowers. Like whether you were to interchange him or not. Okay. Last one. This one's gonna be. Let's go with. Now this is healthy. Okay, my squad or your squad? You got Patrick Mahomes. Okay. Hold on. It's healthy. You got Patrick Mahomes, okay, a healthy Patrick, a healthy Tyreek Hill, and a healthy Travis Kelce versus
old school?
I'm going old school. We're going to go Jalen, AJ, and Dallas Goedert versus Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill. That's a tough one. That one's a tough one. Both are Super Bowl. All of them are Super Bowl champs now.
So Tyreek and AJ wash. Travis obviously is better than Dallas. And then Patrick Mahomes, talent-wise, is better. I mean, you have to go with the Chiefs.
He said I have to choose the Chiefs. But Jalen Hurts is better in the big game than Patrick Mahomes is. But they are 1-1 right now. So I feel like you gotta go with Patrick there. That's solid though. That's a solid. At least you are honest.
Let's do two more.
Two more. Okay.
We'll do the Lions. We'll do the Lions and the Rams. No, let's scratch the Rams. Do the Lions. We'll do AFC. We'll do AFC, NFC. So we do the Lions, and then pick another one from the AFC.
Okay, let's go with the Lions first. We'll go Jared Goff, Amon St. Ra, and Sam Laporta versus Jalen.
No. Add Gibbs.
You want Jameer in that, John?
Because people been talking that mess about Jameer versus Saquon. So
all right. So we'll go. All right, for serious, Chad. This is my squad, your squad. Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown, Jared. This is actually a big debate. Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon St. Ra.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Oh, they're saying Higgins is better.
That's crazy. Let's pump the brakes.
What's her name is back in there. Where were you at last time, man? We're trying to get you as a host. Sorry, or whatever her name is. What's her name?
I think it's Sarai.
Sarai. Come on, Sarai. Get with us. You could be on here with us. Okay, anyways. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to go Jalen Hurts over Goff.
Hey, that's an easy one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with...
You can be mad about it if you want, Chad. That's an easy one. We're going Jalen Hurts all day long.
Saquon over Gibbs.
I think that's an easy one.
Yeah. But then the Saint Brown versus AJ Brown.
That's an easy one too. That's an easy one too.
But a lot of people will say Gibbs is better than Saquon though, and a lot of people in this chat down there are gonna say it. I don't see it, man.
Give me 26. Give me the guy that ran for the most yards in recorded NFL history ever. Give me the guy that could have broken Eric Dickerson's record, but let the old head have it, that grumpy bastard. Let him have it because he wanted the young guys to eat. Give me the Super Bowl MVP quarterback, Jalen Hurts. That's who I'm going with. That's who I'm rocking with. Now, you said the last one has to be AFC?
It don't have to be.
No, I got you. Let's go. Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, CJ Stroud, Stephon Diggs healthy, Nico Collins. That's a solid one too.
So Jalen over CJ.
Okay.
AJ over Nico. And you said that what was the other one?
Devontae Smith and Stephon Diggs. Healthy Stephon Diggs.
I'm going with Diggs.
Solid. So then it's still the Eagles because you 2-1 it.
Yeah, 2-1 it.
That was I feel like that one was more competitive though. The Lions be tripping. The Lions are tripping. Like in no world are you taking any of those three over the other three. It's just not going to happen.
I mean, what other big three is there really if we think about it?
Right now, Josh Allen is the Bills, so. Like
yeah, you can't go there. Can't go there.
The Rams, you had technically with the Rams, you have Matthew Stafford, Davante Adams, and Puka now.
Yeah.
That one's a solid one. I won't hold you. I'll take AJ Brown over Devontae, but I'm taking Puka over Smitty. Call it what you want, and then I would probably take Jalen over Matthew Stafford, but it's close, like razor thin close.
body of work Puka got him.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
But I think the long bomb, I trust Devontae Smith over Puka more.
That's fair. Yeah, different kinds of receivers.
Yeah. But this is interesting, man.
It's cool to sit here and think about how the big threes. Because really, when you think about like the teams in the NFC, like the Green Bay doesn't really have a big three. Dallas has Prescott and CD.
What about Baker, Bucky, Godwin?
Well, you just leave out Mike Evans.
Or Mike Evans.
Hold on. I think
Evans.
you could go Baker, Mayfield, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin versus Jalen, Devontae, and Smitty. I'm gonna probably rock with the Eagles. Like the whole, even though they smashed us last year, I think I'm still rocking with the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them, man.
Yeah.
Who do the Falcons got?
Right now, it's nobody. I mean, they have Drake London, Michael Penix, and Kyle Pitts, but Kyle Pitts isn't a true dominant tight end. The Raiders have Geno, the kid from Bowers, and possibly Genty if he lands there. And then you have Seattle has the Walmart guy that works at Walmart at quarterback, and then nobody else. So Seattle's kind of
the guy on the Lucky Charms box.
Yeah, the redhead. You know what I'm talking about. Then you've got Pittsburgh. Technically, if Pittsburgh got a quarterback, you could go whoever their quarterback is, George Pickens and DK. But I feel like George Pickens is like a glorified big body. Like I feel like he's very similar to like I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good comp for him in the NFL. Like Mike Wallace or whatever his name is that went back to the Chargers because the Chargers don't really have anybody either. Lad McConkey. That's it.
Lad. What's his name is supposed to go back to the Chargers? The one they got rid of. Evans.
That's what. Yeah, something like that. It's the receiver. That's who I was trying to think of.
Keelan.
Oh, bro, you got Trevor Lawrence and those guys. He said no.
But hey, listen. You have now. Hear me out now. Not against the Eagles, but against other teams. You got Bryce Young, Chuba, and Adam Thielen, or a new wide receiver.
You have Xavier Leggett over there too. Those guys don't move the needle for me. I'm still easily going Eagles over them. I mean, if you compared others, it's hard because the Eagles have the three like best at their position, like in terms of quarterback, receiver, and running back.
Yeah, we got legitimately four guys that
Yeah, outside of that, I mean, we've named all the big groupings. But guys, I want to say thank you to everybody that that came out to watch, as well as anybody that's going to watch on the replay. Guys, if you watch on the replay, comment in the comments, replay with your team. I want to see whoever everybody's team is. Guys, don't forget, we are hosting a live draft party on the Sports Lounge Media, guys. It's going to be absolutely incredible. It's next Thursday, 6:30. We will probably hop on a little bit earlier, but we'll get it rocking and rolling around 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And guys, it's going to be absolutely incredible. I'm excited. I'm ready. Me and the guys get to chill, watch the NFL draft. I want to say thank you to the Sports Lounge Media for powering the Eagles Nest and allowing it to be what it is, as well as the Mogul brand and the Diamond Collection. You guys have a chance. Go check them out. The best water on earth with the Diamond Collection. And then the Mogul brand can also be a really great place for resources. Guys, thank you so much for coming out and hanging out and talking ball with us. I hope that everyone chose, and thank you for giving up some of your time tonight. I know you got family over. I hope you guys have an incredible Easter, as well as the viewers. Guys, have an incredible Easter. Be safe, eat a lot of food, and relax. Guys, we are very close, very, very close to the NFL draft, man. I'm so excited. I cannot wait.
Yes. Yeah, we got less than a week away.
Less than a week. Very excited. And on that note, guys, thank you for joining another episode of the Eagles Nest. I will see you on Monday for the solo episode, where we are probably going to go ahead and do a full face dive into my mock draft that, well, it will be my final mock draft. So we'll see about that, guys. Have an absolutely incredible, great rest of your night, guys. Go Birds!
Go Birds. Let's go.